You walk into your local grocery store one day and the shelves look emptier. Prices are higher. Maybe some employees are missing. Then you hear the news. Your store is closing. It's happening at grocery chains across America right now. Some of the biggest names in food retail are shutting stores, bleeding money, and watching customers disappear. Here are 12 grocery chains that are falling apart in 2026. 1. Kroger made a huge bet. They tried to merge with Albertsons for $25 billion. The deal fell apart in December 2024. Courts blocked it. Now Kroger is closing 60 stores nationwide. They announced this in June 2025. Here's what makes this worse. Kroger operates over 2,700 stores. They thought the merger would help them compete with Walmart and Amazon. Instead, they're stuck closing underperforming locations and trying to figure out their next move alone. The stores closing span more than a dozen states: Ohio, Illinois, Georgia, Texas. Many are older formats that lack the full grocery sections customers want now. One spokesperson called them underperforming locations. That's corporate speak for stores losing money. Employees are getting transfer offers to other stores, but not everyone can move. Some communities will lose their only nearby grocery option. Kroger said they're reinvesting in stronger markets and e-commerce. That sounds good until you realize they're shrinking their physical footprint at the worst possible time. The failed merger cost them momentum, it cost them money on lawyers and planning. And now they're playing defense while competitors like Walmart keep growing. Kroger bet big and lost. 2. Albertsons. When the Kroger merger collapsed, Albertsons got hit even harder. They're facing pressure from every direction. Their third quarter 2025 earnings tell the story. Net income dropped from $400 million to $293 million compared to the year before. The company operates under multiple banners: Safeway, Vons, Jewel-Osco, Acme. They've closed stores in Colorado, Nebraska, and New Mexico. More closures are coming. Middle-income shoppers are showing price sensitivity now. Even higher-income customers are paying more attention to costs. That's bad news for a chain that positions itself above discount grocers but below premium stores like Whole Foods. Albertsons is also getting squeezed by government programs. The shutdown of SNAP benefits in late 2025 hurt their sales by 10 to 20 basis points. When your core customers can't afford to shop, you're in trouble. They're trying to invest in technology and artificial intelligence. They're expanding their pharmacy business. They're pushing digital sales, which grew 21%. But none of that matters if people stop coming to your stores. And the data shows that's exactly what's happening. The company faces identical store sales growth of only 2.4%. In grocery, those thin margins mean you need volume. When you lose customers, you lose everything. 3. Dollar General closed 96 stores in early 2025. They also shut down 45 pop-shelf locations. That's 141 stores gone. For a discount chain that serves low-income Americans, this is a crisis. The CEO said something shocking on an earnings call. Customers reported that their financial situation has worsened over the last year. Many said they only have enough money for basic essentials. Some are sacrificing even on necessities. Think about that. Dollar General sells items between $1 and $10. If your customers can't afford that, the economy isn't just bad, it's catastrophic for certain income levels. The chain took a $232 million charge in the fourth quarter of 2024. That's 81 cents per share. Most of that came from store closures and impairment charges. Dollar General's net income collapsed by 57% from 2020 to 2024. Revenue grew 20% in that time, but profitability disappeared. Net margin dropped to 2.77%. Tariffs are making things worse. Rising costs mean Dollar General either raises prices or loses money. If they raise prices, their core customers can't afford to shop. If they don't, the stores bleed cash. They're trapped in the middle of an impossible choice. The company is working on a back-to-basics strategy. They're focusing on store standards and customer service. But when your customers are choosing between food and rent, no amount of corporate strategy fixes that problem. 4. Winn-Dixie. Winn-Dixie turned 100 years old in 2025. They celebrated by closing stores across 4 states. The company announced it would exit Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, and most of Georgia entirely. The parent company, Southeastern Grocers, is rebranding as the Winn-Dixie Company. They're focusing only on Florida and southern Georgia now. That means divesting or closing 32 Winn-Dixie stores and 8 Harvey's supermarket locations. Some stores are being sold to competitors. Aldi is taking some. Piggly Wiggly is taking others. But stores in Columbus, Georgia, and Opelika, Alabama couldn't find buyers. They're just closing. Employees are losing jobs. Communities are losing grocery access. Winn-Dixie has survived 2 bankruptcies. They filed for Chapter 11 in 2005 and again in 2018. They've been trying to turn things around for decades. The company cited strategic focus as the reason for closures. What they mean is survival. When you can't compete in multiple states, you retreat to where you're strongest. For Winn-Dixie, that's Florida. German grocery giant Aldi bought Winn-Dixie and Harvey's last year for $9 billion. Then they started converting stores or closing them. The acquisition was supposed to expand Aldi's footprint. Instead, it's erasing a century-old brand from multiple states. Winn-Dixie will have about 130 stores left after all the closures. That's a fraction of what they once operated. The brand that defined Southern grocery shopping is disappearing. 5. Fresh Amazon spent billions trying to crack the grocery business. They bought Whole Foods for $13.7 billion in 2017. They launched Amazon Fresh stores with high-tech features. None of it is working. Amazon closed 4 fresh stores in Southern California in October 2025. They closed stores in Washington, Virginia, and New York. They shut down all 14 UK stores and converted 5 into Whole Foods locations. The fresh concept never resonated with shoppers. People called the stores soulless. Amazon added bright colors and Krispy Kreme stations. They removed the just walk out cashierless technology. Nothing helped. CEO Andy Jassy paused fresh expansion for 18 months starting in 2023. He needed to figure out what makes the stores special. He still hasn't found the answer. Here's the problem. Amazon operates only 57 fresh stores and 527 Whole Foods locations. Kroger has 2,800 stores. Walmart has 4,600. Amazon can't compete with that scale. Digital grocery sales are growing. Amazon is expanding same-day delivery to over 2,300 cities. But physical stores require different skills. Managing inventory, preventing theft, training staff. Amazon hasn't mastered those basics. The company took a $720 million impairment charge on Fresh and Amazon Go stores. That's how much money they lost on real estate and equipment. Amazon keeps saying they're bullish on grocery. But closing stores tells a different story. They're retreating from physical retail and focusing on delivery. The grand experiment in brick-and-mortar grocery is failing. 6. Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly invented self-service grocery shopping in 1916. Over a century later, the chain is watching stores close across the South. Locations in Alabama